Okay. Did you get this paper, Natila?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, tell me how to calculate cost of sales.
Revenue. Oh, sorry. Cost of sales is opening inventory plus purchases minus maybe goods taken for own use. If there
Opening
is
inventory
plus purchase.
plus purchases minus closing inventory. I have the opening inventory 46,800. I have the closing inventory 54,200. I don't have purchases. What do I do?
We use the inventory turnover formula to find the cost of goods sold.
So I have the inventory turnover ratio that is 8.8 times. What is the formula of inventory turnover ratio?
Cost of goods sold divided by average inventory.
How do you get average inventory?
Opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2.
So 8.8 is cost of sales upon 50,500. So I'll cross multiply. So my cost of sales will be 5,500 into 8.8. $444,400. Yes.
Yes.
Revenue. Margin is 45% on sales. That is revenue. But do I have sales?
No.
I have costs. So it would be 45 by 100 minus 45. 45 by 55 on cost. So it will be 45 by 55 on 444,400. So the margin is 363,600. So revenue minus cost will give me profit. Profit is 363,600. Cost is 444,400. So revenue will be 808,000. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Natila.
Yes.
Oh. Now this is the question. And look at what they want to calculate and then only proceed ahead. What they want to calculate, what they want us to calculate.
Provision for doubtful debt.
Balance for provision for doubtful debts. Okay, for provision for doubtful debts, I need my trade receivables. I have trade receivables, right?
Yeah.
110,360. And I have some percentage that is related to trade receivables. And I also have bad debts. So what will I do? Come on, tell me before calculating the provision for doubtful debts.
Deduct bad debts from
You will
trade
deduct bad
receivables.
Yes, very good. So I have trade receivables as 110,360. Before calculating the provision for doubtful debts, I will always deduct the bad debts. My bad debts is 2,360. So I have my net trade receivables is how much?
108,000.
My net trade receivable is 108,000. Now whatever I want to do, I will do it with the net trade receivables. Come on, how to proceed? 75% of my trade receivables are 0 to 60 days. Do you create any PDD for 0 to 60 days?
No.
Natila? Any PDD for 0 to 60 days? No.
Sorry, yeah, no.
15% of my trade receivables are 61 to 90 days. Any PDD for 61 to 90 days?
Yes.
How much percent?
2.5%.
Okay. So for 61 to 90 days, I have my trade receivables of 108,000. 15% of that, it becomes 16,200. And for 16,200, I will create my PDD at 2.5%. So it makes it to $405. 10% of my trade receivables are over 90 days. How much percent?
10%.
So my balance of PDD is 1485. Yes?
Yes.
Do you all want me to proceed ahead now?
Yeah.
We have to prepare the income statement. I just remember that one administrative expenses was bad debts. How much was the bad debts?
2,360.
2360. So I'm just putting it. Okay. Let's move to making the income statement. We had calculated our revenue. How much was the revenue? 808,000.
Yes.
How much was our cost of sales? 444, 400. So that I will write. What is my revenue? 808,000. My cost of sales is 444, 400. So I have my gross profit as 363, 600. Correct?
Yes.
Now I just have to go on the other things and see what are the things. I have 8% debentures. To 2026, 2027. That it has to be repaid in 26, 27. So it's a non-current liability. So if I take 96,000 into 8%, 76, 7680. What will this be?
Finance.
There is one more finance cost over here. What is this? That means this much of finance cost is paid. You had to pay this much, out of which you have paid this much. But now they are telling you one more thing. These debentures were taken out on 1st November 2020. So November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. The interest would not be for the entire year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Interest would be for 8 months. November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. I'm getting as 5120. Let's see, let's go ahead. There is administrative expenses as how much? 55,900. So this I will write in my working note. The balance is 55,900 of administrative expenses. Director's remuneration. I have distribution costs. Distribution cost will go where? Which expense? Distribution cost, which expense? The name distribution is there. So it will be distribution cost. It will entirely would go in distribution cost. Finance cost is some issue. Wages and salaries. They are saying it has to be given in the ratio of 3:7 between administration and distribution. Director's remuneration 75:25. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wages and salaries 3,800 was owing. On 30th June, bonus is to be paid to the sales director. So there is director's remuneration. I will add bonus. The expenses is allocation I did not know. They've already given it to me over here. Okay. Depreciation. Motor vehicles for office staff. Where will it go? Administration or distribution?
Administration.
Administration.
Why? Because it is for office staff. So depreciation, 1 in administration, 1 depreciation of delivery vehicles. Delivery vehicles is for distribution. Right? So this will go in distribution. With this, I have completed this part. Bad debts was done. Now I have PDD, provision for doubtful debts. What is the new provision? 1485. What is the old provision?
1, 2, 3.
Is there an increase in provision or decrease?
Increase.
Increase in the provision. So it is a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad.
Bad. Because you think now more people would not pay you. So only the increase or decrease is recorded as an expense. So 223. What was it? 14? Okay, 1235. Sorry. 1485 minus 1235. 250 is increase in provision for doubtful debts. Where will it go?
Administrative expense.
Administrative expenses 250. Okay. Let's start distributing other things. I'm doing this first. Yes. Kids, this bonus due to be paid to the sales director 12,000. Is it included in the director's remuneration or it is not included?
Yes, where is it? Oh, okay.
Sorry?
No, I couldn't find it.
Because the MS is doing distribution of director's remuneration directly with this amount, 62,400.
The 12,000 isn't included at all?
But how?
Because
Why are they telling
there's
us?
sales director, like a specific type of director, so maybe it's a specific type of expense.
So sales director, so what? Wait, let me see.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a
62,400
distribution expense.
into 25% is 15,600. Yeah, 15,600 plus 12,000. Yes, it is a sales director. They have mentioned it specifically that it is a sales director. Yes. So director's remuneration 62,400 would be divided in the administration and distribution. 75%, 25%. 62,400 into 75% is 46,800. And here 62,400 into 25% is 15,600 and bonus to the sales director 12,000. 27,600. Okay. Thanks, Natila. Okay. Now wages and salaries. Let's see for wages and salaries. It is 90 to 100 divided by 10. So one is getting how much? 27,630. And one is getting 64,470. So wages and salaries. One is getting 27,630. And one is getting 64,470. Now, finance cost is an issue. Do you have anything about the finance cost, Natila?
Sorry?
Anything about the finance cost?
There's like the information that said interest was paid every 3 months in arrears starting on 1st February.
2021.
Yeah.
So, Feb, March, April, May, June, July. But in either cases, I will write my expense for the year, right, in the income statement.
But why would they mention the information if it's not useful?
See, the MSS finance cost is 7630. We are getting finance cost as 5120. Per month finance cost is 640. You have anything related to finance cost? Can you say something? %8 debentures 26/22 were taken out on 1st November 2020. Interest was paid every 3 months in arrears starting on 1st Feb. So November, December, Jan. Interest I paid in Feb. Feb, March, April interest I have paid in May. In May, June, and July, I would have paid in August. Okay. So I have paid only for 6 months. So out of 6350, I have already paid for 6 months. If 640 is per month, so for 6 months it is 3840. So from 6350, if I remove 3840, so 2510 is finance cost for some other expenses. How much it was? 2840, right? 3840. 3840 I have paid. 2510 is finance cost for some other thing. November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April. So I still have to pay for 3 months. No, for 2 months. April, May, June. So for 2 months it is 640 into 2. So 1280. So if I just add 3840 plus 2510 plus 1280, 7630. Yes. Finance cost 7630.
Miss, I didn't understand.
Yeah, even I Just took a bit of time to understand. Okay, let's see over here. I'll erase all this and I'll explain you finance costs. I have paid 6350 finance cost during the year. Okay. How much have I paid? 6350 finance cost during the year I have paid. 96,000 is the debentures for which 8% interest is 7680 would be the annual interest for debentures if you divide it by 12. So per month interest would be 640. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yes. Now I have taken these debentures on 1st November. So I have to have interest of November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April, May and June. That is it. Yes. Now what they say, they are saying that interest was paid every 3 months in arrears, starting from 1st Feb. That means on 1st Feb, I paid interest for these 3 months. Yes. So that means I paid interest for 3 months, 640 into 3, 1920. On 1st May, I would pay again 1920 for these 3 months. Right? So totally related to debentures, interest related to debentures that I have paid. Is how much? 1920 plus 1920, it is coming 3840. So if I minus from expense paid 6350 minus 3840, 2510 is finance cost for something else.
Miss, from where did you get 3840?
I paid in February for November, December, Jan. Then these 3 months I would pay in May.
Yeah.
And for May, June and July, I would pay in August, which does not fall now. So out of this 6350 that I have paid, interest related to debentures I have paid only for 6 months. 3840. 2510 is for something else. Okay. So 3840 was paid for interest. 2510 was extra finance cost. But I have used the debentures for 8 months. That means 2 months outstanding interest is also there for debentures. Which is 640 into 2, 1280. So my total finance cost is 3840 plus 2510 plus 1280. My total finance cost is 7630. So finance cost would be 7630. Now I'll just do the total of my administrative expenses. So it is 55,900 plus 2360 plus 46,800 plus 26,400 plus 250 plus 27,630. So 159,340 is my administrative expenses. Distribution costs 59,200 plus 27,600 plus 32,800 plus 64,417. 184,070 is distribution cost. So this is working note number 1. This is working note number 2. 184,070. So gross profit minus both of this would give me profit from operations, that is coming up to 2190. Working note number 3 for finance cost, which is 7630. I'll get profit for the year as 12,560. Correct? As 12,560. Now I'll take statement of changes in equity. 30 marks they are not giving us for free. Profit for the year 12,560, 12,560. Freehold property was revalued downwards by 10,000. So because it was revalued downwards, but my revaluation reserve has only 10,000. So I will reduce 7,500 from here, 2,500 from here, and 10,000 from the total. Are you all with me?
Yes, I can understand.
Freehold property was revalued downward by 10,000. That means I have a loss of 10,000. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So I will have to use my earlier reserves to wipe off this 10,000 loss.
Yeah.
Yeah? Freehold property is reducing. So I will say freehold property is credit. So what will be debited? What will be debited? Revaluation reserve, I have only 7,500. So I will first use that entire revaluation reserve of 7,500. And the remaining, I will use retained earnings for 2,500. I use capital reserves first, revenue reserves later.
Okay.
So I will remove from revaluation reserve, I will remove from retained earnings, and 10,000 I will remove for total. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now I have right issue. One ordinary share of $2 each. One share for how many held? For every 2 held. Okay. Issue was fully subscribed. Let's see how many shares we had. Where is the shares?
Yes, you can just divide it, the value of the share with the share price.
Where is the value of the share?
Yes, it's in the statement.
Which statement? Let me see.
Statement of changes in equity, like the opening balance.
Yeah. This is given. The ordinary share capital is given. So 2 is premium of 7.75. So 2 minus 0.75. 1.25 is the face value of shares, correct? 1 share for every 2 held. So if you divide 440,000 by 1.25, you will get the number of shares. So They had 352,000 shares held. So how many shares as right issue? Cross multiply. 176,000 shares as right issue. 1.25 face value and 0.75 premium. $176,000 into 1.25.
Miss, 1.25 you multiplied by, what did you multiply it with?
Number of shares that you did for right issue.
Miss, how
You
do
would
you get
you would
352,000?
issue one share for every two held. Okay? Right issue was made at 2, which had included a premium of 0.75. That means the face value of every share is 1.25.
Yeah.
I had ordinary share capital of 440,000. So when I divided 440,000 by 1.25, I got the number of shares that I actually held.
Okay, Miss.
So I got the number of shares I issued for right issue. This I multiply with the face value to have money in the ordinary share capital. And this I'll multiply with the premium to know how much will go in the premium. 176,000 into 0.75. Natila,
Yeah.
I'm in fix. Right issue is at $2, right?
Miss, I'm actually confused about the pricing.
This is correct, 220,000. But the premium, if I'm multiplying, I'm getting something else. I'm getting 132,000. $176,000 into
And Miss,
0.7.
because I think you should take the 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 rights issue price is 2 plus 0.2, 0.75, maybe.
Then the ordinary share amount will go wrong.
Yeah, Miss, no, it's the same thing.
How?
If we take ordinary price as 2, then the number of shares would be 220,000, yeah. And then you divide
440,000 divided by 2. So the number of shares held would be 220,000 divided by 2. So I will do 110 shares. Face value 2 and premium 0.75. 110,000 into 2. Okay. Got it. Did you get Dua?
Yes.
The issue price was 2, which was the face value. I just thought that it was 2 including premium. It was 2 excluding premium. Okay. Then you made a bonus issue of 1 ordinary share for every 10 held. 1 ordinary share for every 10 held. But now you have 220 and 110. So you have 330,000 shares held. So you will do bonus issue of 33,000 shares at 2 each. So 66,000. From where will you remove the 66,000? From share premium. Capital reserves first. Then you're paying dividend. 0.05 per share on all shares that is held. So we have total how many shares held up till now? Originally 220,000 shares were there. 110,000 was right issue. 33,000 was bonus issue.
Miss, for bonus issue, how did you get 330,000 shares?
Originally you had 220,000 shares.
Yeah.
Then you did right issue for 110.
Okay.
So for 330,000 shares, you give 33,000 shares as bonus. So total shares held with you. $220,000 plus 110,000 plus 33,000. 363,000. On that, you are giving a dividend of 0.05. So giving a total dividend of 18,150. Dividend is given out of retained earnings. Do the total. And then you'll do. What is the formula to calculate non-current asset turnover ratio?
Revenue divided by non-current asset.
Net book value of non-current asset. State what information the directors would obtain from calculating the non-current asset turnover ratio.
How well the business is utilizing the non-current asset.
So how efficiently the business is utilizing non-current assets for what? To generate revenue. State the
Can you
limitation. Sorry?
For this answer, can you say like revenue obtained per unit of non-current asset?
Yeah.
Okay.
State 3 limitations of ratio analysis when comparing the performance of the business.
They are different sizes of business.
Different size of business. So business size may be different. Okay. What else?
Non-financial factors that affect the business growth or business performance.
Non-financial factors that affect business performance may not be included. What else? What else? Ratio is based on historic data. What else? Different business may use different accounting policies. Okay.